Firstly, in discussing job hazard analysis, we first need to know what is hazards indicates. So hazard means anything that has the potential or give rise to harm. So in a way, job hazard analysis entails the assessment and analysis of hazard that is present in the work environment or regarding the job scope itself. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration (OSHA) of the US Department of Labor defines job hazard analysis as a method that emphasizes job duty in the means of identifying hazard before they emerge. So what is the focus of JHA? So JHA or job hazard analysis focus is with regards of the employees, the tasks that involve tools and equipment, and also the work environment where the job is done. So job hazard analysis have a few fundamentals of working in analyzing the job hazard itself. So it starts with identifying the job task that is involved, and then it will go to the breaking of the job steps. Next is identifying the potential hazard itself that is present in the certain job scope, and then we will assess the risk of the hazard that is present. And next is determining the control measures that is suitable, and lastly, we need to communicate between employers, employee in the workplace about the hazard and implement a proper control and mitigation measure so that the hazard is not present when the job is finally at when we start doing the work. So JHA complement OSH principles by which it helps in safekeeping health and safety of the workers, and also increase the company reputation because the company adopts certain safety and health quality of doing job hazard analysis.
On Saturday, 11 September 2021 at 9 a.m., an employee of a factory that processed frozen chicken supply on Jalan Ashitam in Johor was killed after he fell into a spin chiller machine. The victim, a 40-year-old worker, was one of the 3 co-workers tasked with cleaning the production equipment. The victim was squeezing by the spin chiller screw conveyor when he was cleaning the machine that was used to cool down the eviscerated chicken. Another co-worker noticed the victim's legs was hanging out of the machinery, and he immediately shut off the running of the equipment production. The victim was confirmed dead at the scene by a medical officer. The director of the Johor Occupational Safety and Health, DOSH, have been made a clear statement that no production activity were occurring on the day of the accident, and the victim was working by himself cleaning the spin chiller machine. Due to the employer's inability to ensure that the spin chiller machine is operated safely, a prohibition notice has been issued against them. The employer failed to offer a safe work system, particularly on the lockout and takeout system (LOTO) for the machinery cleaning operation, which led to DOSH to issue the warning against the employer.
Okay, now let's proceed with the JHA of this accident. The job involved is mainly called maintenance of poultry processing machine, whereby the accident happened at a factory in Machak, Johor about 2 years ago. The first task in this job is the removal of certain components. Disengagement of certain parts or components is needed to effectively clean processing equipment, such as the isolation of energy sources from the equipment. One other example would be moving of the guards or components, and this action will expose worker to get cuts which normally will be infected as a result of working in poultry.
For hazard identification, we'll discuss the hazard type, hazard classification, and hazard description for each task. So, hazard type in task 1 is safety hazard, which is classified under electrical hazards. The hazard does exist if worker directly performs their maintenance work immediately after they shut off the electrical power source of the machine. This is because some electricity could still briefly remain in the capacitors of the power supply if the workers get contact with the left electrical component. Electric shock or electrocution might be the impact of the accident.
The second task would be maintenance or cleaning of the spin chiller. Sanitation workers that have no proper training may not know the level of safety in cleaning a powered spin chiller, where there is more a potential that the motor is still conserving electric. Improper disassembly of electric connection may also bring an electrical hazard, not to mention especially in a wet condition.
On to the hazard identification for task 2. On the safety hazards, we have identified slip, trips, and falls hazards that can be classified under physical hazard classifications. The height of the machines requires the use of a ladder in this factory. It is a manual cleaning process, so we all know that the usage of the ladder could expose workers to the fall hazard, which risks the in-charge person being stuck and squeezed into the machines. Next, the health hazard identified in task 2 are biological and ergonomic hazards. As this factory is mainly about poultry processing, there is a probability of the workers might get infected by the bacteria of Salmonella typhi and Colibacillosis bacteria. Meanwhile, as the factory is performing manual cleaning process, the ergonomic hazard comes from the repetitive movement and awkward posture from the use of squeegees to dry out the wet floor, which can injure our back, hands, and neck.
Lastly, it will be the task on after-work cleaning of maintenance area. Usually, cleaning around the spin chiller will require the worker to use squeegees in order to clean the floor. This activity will also require them to bend and hunch over under the machine itself. Not to mention the usage of chemical in the cleaning solution that poses chemical hazard to the worker.
For the last task, we identified safety hazards with physical hazard classifications. First, slip, trips, and falls. We need water to clean things, so do the machinery cleaning. Wet and slippery floors with soap could slip the workers and may cause bodily injury and equipment damage. Second, the high pressure of water from water blasting equipment. Pressured water that blasted out might give a satisfactory cleaning outcome, but if it accidentally blasts out directly to one of the workers, it also may cause injury and wounds. The third and last hazard of task 3 is noise hazard. This is from the water blasting equipment. The loud sound is produced by the motor of the equipment itself and comes from the blast sound of pressured water through the hose. And now, for hazard control. Under slip, trips, and falls hazard, we can control them by having proper material for the floor like anti-slip floor coatings, and for the control of stagnant water. From the cleaning procedures, the employer shall design the factory flooring with proper slope gradient which allows the water to flow directly into the drainage system. To avoid workers from being caught and stuck in a machine, the installation of safety devices shall be done like whole body pullback safety devices, while fencing and barricades helps in limiting the movement of the workers towards the machines. For electrical hazard control, employers should provide safe working procedures, and it needs to be followed by employee. In addition, workers shall apply lock-out, take-out, or LOTO procedures before performing any task related to the electrical hazard, which have 7 steps to be followed, as can be seen on the screen right now. The final hierarchy of control is the use of PPE. Workers should wear electrical conductor clothing like overalls and rubber footwear, as it can protect workers from being contact directly with the live electricity. Next, hazards from water blasting machines can be controlled first with an engineering control. Noise hazards can be reduced with innovation by noise reducing technology. While on the administration part, the employer should provide appropriate training and safe working procedures to the employees while handling the water blasting equipment. The last control measure is PPE. Wearing goggles and hearing protection device could help workers from being exposed to the hazard of water blasting machines. For the biological hazards, the probability of workers getting infected by the microbioagents can be monitored through regular medical surveillance. And the application of PPE like masks, aprons, and gloves can reduce the risk of workers getting direct exposure to the pathogens.
So what are the consequences that may be faced by workers throughout this task? Any consequences may occur during the task is done. It just depends on the severity and the level of risk. So some of the distant effects that we may predict would be crushing, amputation, strains, electric shock, burns, hearing damage, or even being infected with biological contaminant. The worst case scenario would lead certain workers to the deathbed.
Now on the rationale and comment sections. First, instead of having manual cleaning tasks, employers can invest in an automatic cleaning system for the spin chiller. Other than that, the high maintenance frequency of the parts of the machines can lower the risk of any accidents occurrence. Thirdly, the management may invest in better safety devices that may stop the spin chiller automatically when body parts enter the danger zone of the machines.
So, as a conclusion, what have we learned throughout the job hazard analysis assignment? We learned that all workplaces have the potential of bearing hazards, regardless of whatever job scope or work environment that is involved. Job hazard analysis also have the capability to oversee potential hazard. But risk and hazard mitigation effort must be in continuity. We can understand that job hazard analysis is done before a certain work is carried out, but it is not ensured of the safety if we just rely on the data of the job hazard analysis and we do nothing in continuation of in regards of control and mitigation of hazard and risk. So employers must utilize these findings from the job hazard analysis to equip the workplace with adequate safety measures in all aspects, be it the design, the SOP of work, the equipment that is used during work, and many other things. So all hazard identification and control suggested in the analysis will help the workplace to establish a safe work environment and have the ability to not just safekeeping the health and safety as well as well-being of the workers, but also to hinder the workplace from property damage and loss of productivity.